for fuck's sake!
Okay, everyone. Welcome. I would say welcome back, but this is the first episode in this new project. And whilst you're going to be hearing my voice, I need to stress straight away, I'm not actually the host of this. As much as this is a subsidiary of You Have Failed, the show that you all love and I famously put up with. I'm not the host. Your host is actually your favorite Hingadinga, King's Eyes, who can say hello.
Oh, fuck off. The Hingadinga thing. Jesus. All right. Hello.
You said to be funny is the first thing that came to my head.
I did. It was strict direction, this.
But I'm here to introduce this because as much as I'm not the host, I will be part of every episode. And as I said, this is a part of You Have Failed. This is a part of You Have Failed that I have, quite frankly, have dreaded. And since the minute I had the light bulb moment of what a great show this would be, have also dreaded even more because I've realized it's a reality now and I have to sit and listen to the own content that I've created, which, as I'm sure some of you that are long-time listeners of You Have Failed know, I hate doing that. I hate the sound of my own voice and I hate having to, when I used to edit the episodes, fortunately I won't be doing that from now on, so I don't have to listen to myself. It's great. I don't like listening to my voice. So the whole idea of this show is King's Eyes, who listens to my episodes.
I do listen to your episode, yeah.
I think fairly regularly, I'd say you listen to at least a couple of episodes of You Have Failed.
There's been some local favorites, yeah, but it's among my favorite shows, which is subjective, obviously, because I partially produced the thing. But just generally, I find you to be a funny motherfucker, whatever you say. So,
thank you. I appreciate that. So, King's Eyes listens to the show fairly regularly. I listen to the show once in a blue moon if I just really randomly think, I remember this episode, what's it like? And I'll go through Spotify and I'll play it. I rarely listen to my own stuff. So the idea I came up with, I can't even remember the origins. We were just talking on WhatsApp one day. And I think you were listening to one of the episodes. And I was like, I don't really listen to them. And I thought, hang on, what if you once a week, I don't know how often we're going to do this, randomly pick an episode. So just to clear up, guys, I have no idea what I'm about to listen to. Randomly picks an episode from my catalogue of, I've got quite a lot of episodes now, so I don't know how many. And we listen to it together and we go through a commentary, and King's Eyes, being your host, will pause when he wants and ask me questions and maybe about what I said and how I feel about what I said now and your reflections. And obviously I can interject and after a pause at a certain time to talk about something as well. So it's just a chance for us to relive the best moments You Have Failed, whilst I also cringe at it, reliving things that I've said. And it's just an all-round, I think, tribute to You Have Failed that I think is rightfully deserved. And I think the big cherry on the cake is something else that I think long-time You Have Failed fans will know. There's one particular episode of You Have Failed that I despise, and I have threatened to take down multiple times and haven't yet. And I regret not doing that now because King's Eyes has politely threatened me, saying it will at a random point, because obviously I won't know what episodes come up and when they come up. At one point, episode 1, The Legacy of Arrow, will be played to me and I will be forced to re-listen. That is the one episode I have never listened to more than once. And I know at one point I will be forced to re-listen to it, and I'm dreading that moment because it's awful.
Can I just say also, it was all the more interesting because we've had some discussions previously about some episodes going up and down on the feed whenever it actually returns. For you to then suggest this format, and we hadn't had a proper discussion about episode 1 yet. I found that fascinating. I was like, I'm going to have to poke him on this. Yeah, we're definitely doing that one.
Yeah, I hate that episode with a passion, famously, because it's just so bad, and it's nothing like what You Have Failed became. It was very serious, and the mic quality, honestly, it sounds like the microphone was shoved up my anus whilst it was being plugged into my Jap side. Like, it wasn't.
I'll ask no questions how that's the quality that you know what sounds like, but okay.
Yeah, well, the point is that episode is awful and I hate it. and knowing that at any point I'll be subjected to it is terrifying. So fingers crossed he hasn't been a dick and put it on the first episode. Otherwise, I might scream.
Well, as the ongoing or the host that is stepping into this, I haven't taken it as the first one. I'll give you some solace in that. We're starting off fairly easy.
Okay.
I'm still at no point going to tell you prior.
No, it's fine.
And it's still going to be the same. Like, you can react to it however you please, but it's coming. You won't know when.
Well, I think without further ado and my dread raised to maximum levels, I will hand over to you as host to direct this episode, and I will sit back, try and relax, and try to enjoy whatever I'm about to listen to.
All right, let's go for it. Well, first and foremost, one thing that we've avoided saying so far is what the actual show name is.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Sorry, go on.
The show name for this, the bonus show for You Have Failed, is called For Fuck's Sake. Now, do you want to go into why this is an ample title?
Well, originally it was the sort of prototype name for a bonus show to You Have Failed anyway. We just didn't know what we were going to be doing with it. It came about because it was more a case of King's Eyes think it was funny that, for fuck's sake, there's more of this guy we have to listen to, which is still, I think, relevant to what's going on now, because I'm still here. Hi, you still hear my voice. But now I think it has like a triple meaning, because not only is it for fuck's sake, it's more of this guy, it's also, for fuck's sake, it's the same episode we've already listened to.
We're just milking it for listens, guys. That's literally all it is.
That is exactly what it is. But also, it's a for fuck's sake from my perspective, because I have to re-listen to these episodes.
It's a triple whammy for one SaiyanVader. I love it.
Yeah, so it's a triple whammy, and for fuck's sake, I think is the appropriate title. So
even funnier, it's his idea.
Yeah, this was all my idea. I've done this to myself. Call me a sadomasochist if you want. I mean, at this point, I think it might be true. Yeah, this is an idea I came up with, and at the time I thought it was a great idea, and then now I actually have to do it. So here we go.
With that in mind, okay, so let's get into what episode we're going to be listening to today.
Please.
So it's a new format. We're gonna start off nice and easy, with an episode that you and me did. What was it, like a year after we lived together? I think after we started living together. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you meant after we left. I was like, oh, right, okay. I think I know which one this is now. Yeah, if it's the one I think it is, it's the. Do I need to go and get my baby?
I think you shall, because this episode will delve into the origins of one amphibious ninja. So the episode today, it's called The Origins of Frog Ninja. And let me just bring up the right screen here.
He's never too far away, Frog Ninja. I always have the plushie with me.
Of course. As long as he's not time traveling and the like, he's always there.
Yeah, he's here right now.
Yeah. Okay. So this episode, it was launched in September of 2020. So we are 6 months in. Was that?
That's 2 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus, it's been a while, and it's still fresh in memory.
Yeah.
This was back when we had, I think we had that was like the second episode, or possibly the first one after the whole Final Judgment thing.
This is the first one of season 2. I know that much. This was the premiere Kickstarter of season 2.
That was indeed it, and I was sitting in on it. I don't know that I was of any valid contribution there. I was there, but that's about it.
I'm sure you did fine.
I was present. Let's just say that. Okay, so what do you remember from the episode? That's probably the key question that'll be coming back.
So I can remember it was the Kickstarter of season 2, and I remember that it came about because obviously not just on You Have Failed, but I think amongst Sigil, he'd become a character. So Frog Ninja still, I think, for example, my YouTube profile picture is still the Twitch one. Like Frog Ninja is still a big part, I think, of just my online identity. And I think we got to a point where it was like, I think we've got to explain to these people what the fuck Frog Ninja is, because they think we're slightly insane. And if I'm honest, I think the episode made us sound even more insane. But
yeah, I listened back to it here in the car the other day, and what struck me is how often we repeat, like, this is just insanity on air, because it literally was.
It is. And so I don't remember too much about what was said. Obviously, I do, to the extent that I've never forgotten the origins of Frog Ninja. So I can remember what would have been said, but I don't at the same time, if that makes any sense. I don't know how we would have said it, but I remember the story of the creation of my baby. So,
well, good. Okay. Do you want me to read the episode description just so we have a bit of an opening here?
Yeah, go on. I like my descriptions. They used to be spot on.
Okay, here it reads: the amphibian, the myth, the legend. You have heard his name many times, but now comes the time to finally explain him to the rest of the world.
Frog Ninja!
The omnipotent ninja frog, aptly named Frog Ninja, is finally unleashed for the world to marvel at his glory. But I'm not sure any of you are ready. ...
I mean, that is incredible. When I say I'm good at writing little descriptions for episodes, honestly, I think that was my best part of podcasting, was actually my descriptions.
You did. What I think for a laugh here is the fact that you have Frog Ninja in all caps and like 15 exclamation points. So I know what you were writing. You were doing the whole gesture thing.
Yeah, the Frog Ninja. Or, like, I know it.
Yeah, which you went into depth. Like, you went in depth and you did explain that in the episode too. As far as
I wish I was wearing my Church of Frog Ninja shirt. It is somewhere.
Oh wow, I forgot those existed.
I still have it. I do still wear it.
Oh, bless. Well, let's get into listening what in the world we got up to on this episode.
Lord, give me strength.
Lord Frog Ninja, that is?
That's the one.
That's the one. Oh, good.
Guess who's back?
Fuck me.
Back again. Vader's back. Please tell your friends. Hello, everybody.
Let me also just say, right? So for anybody that'll listen to this, you have the option also to bring up the episode on your own on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, wherever you find your favorites, and you can listen to it on your own leisure. There will be a link in the show notes for this episode, just so everybody knows.
Oh, good. They can listen to me sing again. Brilliant.
Yes, I think you cut that out at some point. I don't recall. But regardless.
Oh, dear.
Back to You Have Failed with Cock Mushroom. No, same person. We are back with season 2 of the worst show on the internet. And before we get started, though, we will once again obviously go over the Black Lives Matter issue. And this week, last week.
I don't recall exactly why we came up that you had to call yourself Cock Mushroom, but you did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember either. If I'm completely honest, I'm not entirely sure why it was a thing. I know why I did it, and it's because I'm an idiot, and we'll just do it. You don't have to really tell me twice. I'll just do it. And yeah, that. I don't know if you could hear me laugh. I don't know how much my mic picked up, because it definitely spiked when I started laughing then, because it was more of a cackle.
I did hear some cackling that I didn't recall was there previously.
Yeah, I oh dear. Yeah, Cock Mushroom. That I don't know the origins of that. I don't really want to look into the origins of that. It happened and we move.
Hopefully it is explained at some point in the episode.
I don't think it is.
We'll see. I won't make too frequent breaks because it's 44 minutes long, so we'll see. Okay, continuing.
We are going to mention Breonna Taylor, who was shot dead in our home by some police officers, and I was just reliably informed that the only charges the police officers got were for the bullets that didn't hit her and could have endangered the people in the house next door. Now, to anyone listening to this, if you think that is perfectly reasonable, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
A woman was murdered, and that wasn't the charge. The charge was for the bullets that didn't hit her. And obviously they bust into her house unannounced anyway, and then the boyfriend, I'm not going to say rightfully so, started shooting, because I'm against the whole America has guns thing anyway, so that's part of the problem regardless, but that's a different issue.
Of course.
He shot in self-defense or whatever. I'm not going to get into whether I think that's right or wrong. But then the police officers unloaded a barrage of bullets themselves, none of which hit him, a lot of which hit her, but they were charged for the ones that missed both of them and could have endangered the people next door.
Just to pause there a second, like, we don't need to stay on this for too long, but how fucking weird is that?
What, the whole, this Breonna Taylor one situation?
Yeah.
Not
what you said, because it's entirely justified.
No. I still remember that case, I sort of forgot it was in this episode I talked about it, but I do still recall, because I remember that one was just like, what the fuck?
As I recall, I told you like literally seconds before we started recording this one.
Yeah, it wasn't long before you sort of informed me about what had happened. And yeah, I still remember talking about that one, because I remember that one was one that really did hit me as this is just, obviously I thought it was fucked up from the start, the whole treatment of black people, don't get me wrong. But
of course,
this one incident, I was like, sorry, you're being charged for the bullets that missed. Like, the property damage was fucking brilliant. And yeah, that story was one that sort of stuck with me as a whole. There's something fucking wrong here. And in one way, I will say, like, I almost felt wrong for including it in an episode like this, because it's a very serious topic. And obviously the episode started off with me doing a fucking Eminem parody and calling myself Cock Mushroom, and then delves into the madness of Frog Ninja, who is a ambiguous character anyway, I think, in terms of he's just a completely just mental being that just shouldn't exist. And in a way, listening to that again, it makes it a very, I think, big contrast. The fact that you've gone from such a joke to something so serious.
Yeah,
I do
shift. Yeah,
I do feel not in a, I don't feel like I've disrespected them at all, but in a way, feel like, oh, should I have put it in such a jokey episode? Is it a bit? But I feel like, I didn't do anything to disrespect them. It was a genuine thing, I think. And then obviously we got on with the main episode. That was the only thing I was sort of thinking when I was listening to it was, does it take anything away from it? The fact that it's in between a very jokey episode, but I feel like I feel like it was handled well.
Well, ultimately, if you think about it, the whole tone of You Have Failed has been very witty and jokey for the majority of it, because you're sitting there in front of a microphone just spitballing about something an extensive amount about.
Yeah.
So in a way, it doesn't deviate too much. And obviously you, for, I believe, every episode with the exception of one, you did a BLM call out. So, it stuck to how the show was always built. So it's not too far deviating.
No, true. Fair enough.
Now, frankly, that's what's like bullshit. So if you support that behaviour, please dig a hole and crawl into it and bury yourself.
Yeah,
and
that
if you don't, you can go to www.blacklivesmatter.com to find out how to support either monetarily or non-monetarily.
Just casually threatening someone with
the issue and get talking about the issue on social media by using the hashtag either
still support
BLM
that, by the way,
or hashtag Black Lives Matter. This is clearly still a very prominent issue that needs to be fucking stopped before it gets any worse. And just
how do I segue this into jokes about Frog Ninja?
This sort of violence.
I hope you do.
In general, let alone just the oppression that has been shown to black people throughout history.
I'm being very serious right now, and I know I'm about to joke about an amphibious ninja from the past/future.
Which hopefully will be a bit more lighthearted from now on. And I will say for a start, I am joined once again by King's Eyes, who's sitting next to me.
Here I am. Here's where you instantly know it's a joke. I'm there.
Once again. Yes, this time this isn't being recorded over Discord. He's actually sitting next to me, which I'm sure he's very, very unthrilled about.
I'm uncomfortable about the social distancing.
Yeah, he hasn't. Not gonna lie, he doesn't have a choice in what's going on.
The muzzle came off minutes ago.
Yeah, but we are here today to, I think, explain something that's, I suppose, been an enigma for a while. That I've mentioned in many YouTube videos, many podcast episodes.
He has had his relative mentions all over the place.
And he's frankly part of my logo.
He is.
But I've never elaborated on what the fuck a frog ninja is. And the short-term answer is it's a frog that's a ninja. Think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but a frog. Not a answer.
Can you just stop that a second? Okay, so wonderful bit of explanation there.
I mean, I think for the first time ever on You Have Failed, I was getting straight to the point. How to explain what a frog ninja is? It's a frog that's a ninja. I even brought in the analogy of something people might recognize as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Just to make it proper. This is what it is.
Yeah, if you want to explain what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are to someone, you go, they're turtles that are teenagers, but mutants that are ninjas.
And if you have an IQ of 6, here is an example of just what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's a frog that's a ninja. It's
great. It's fucking great.
it's amazing.
Yeah. All right, carrying on.
A real dive into how insane I am. That it was his birthday. It was his first birthday last Monday.
Can we just pause for a second, just for 2 seconds?
Of course.
Just so I can say, it's not going to take too long. I still, it's really bad. In my calendar on my phone, I still have a yearly reminder for the birthday of Frog Ninja.
Oh shit, you do?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna look now. I'm pretty sure it's the 23rd of September. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. 21st. It's the 21st of September. But I on my phone calendar, I have that reminder set for yearly. So every year it reminds me that it's his birthday.
And I'm sure we get into that in the episode also. But this was literally just hours after you had moved in.
Yeah, we did explain that in the episode. I think that it wasn't long after I moved in that Frog Ninja was born.
Yeah, we actually, I think we also touch on like how the relationship between you and me started and all of that stuff. So
I believe we do.
Yes, it is a fascinating tale, this entire thing. All right, let's carry on.
The 1st of September?
I reckon it was something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the day I
You
first moved into our house in Winchester for second year of university. And, oh God, we were playing, this is so insane. We were playing Super Smash Bros, a game that I've played a little bit, but I'm not very good at it, I'm going to be honest.
Still not.
You were bloody
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
on this
I'm
machine.
completely shit. I've never really properly played it before, maybe a few times around friends. And when going through the character selection, I was originally going to go for Red because he has a Charizard. Then I saw Mewtwo, I was like, oh. Then I saw Lucario, I was like, oh, that's quite cool. Obviously going for the Pokemon characters because And then I saw one of my favourite Pokemon of all time that doesn't require you to have a trainer to use in this game, that is, and that is Greninja, who I love Greninja.
I do still love Greninja.
The coloured variants.
Obviously, he's on your lap.
There was the one that was the closest to his shiny form, wasn't it? Which is obviously the one that's slightly darker and black coloured, because I love shiny Greninja because he's fucking awesome.
He is.
Really
It's such a cool colour scheme.
aquatic ninja.
Yeah, it's nice.
But then randomly, whilst playing, I decided to come up with a backstory for not Greninja. This was now its own being. This was Frog Ninja, because that's a far more basic name than Greninja, but it's fine. He got his own identity. He was his own character. To which this was around the time that the Area 51 raids were meant to be happening as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was high in social media that there was the Storm Area 51 thing, yeah.
So this is where my twisted idea started. I think it was a few days before the raid was meant to happen, quote unquote. So I decided that Area 51 is just a front, right? The real thing is actually under the desert, the Sahara Desert in Africa.
Makes sense.
It just makes perfect sense, though. Like, why wouldn't it be a front?
Well, why would you have such a massive inhospitable landscape if it wasn't hiding something?
Right. Also, why would you have such a ton of idiots just going in the desert about to storm one of the most secure facilities in the world, allegedly?
And think about it. What is Area 51 in the middle of? A desert. Where's the real one going to be hidden? In a desert. It makes sense.
In the desert, in which there is a lot of...
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, we're getting to it, all right?
Yep.
Because that sounds like Area 51, because it's both got A's in it. And so Area 51 was a front, and we were all fooled thinking we had to raid there. And Frog Ninja was actually a mutated experiment from Africa 51. And what they did then, they didn't just turn him into a mutant. They didn't just turn this poor defenseless frog into a ninja. Oh dear. They infused... By the way, I've got Frog Ninja sitting on my lap now. I do have a plushie shiny Greninja I bought just after Frog Ninja was created.
That's the one.
He's now here with me. I love him. He's my baby. Adopted.
He is.
We had this discussion. I can't produce a frog. Anyway, they infused him with... They infused him with the powers of sand.
He's adopted.
In the desert, there's a lot of sand. You know, that's factually accurate. Check it out, guys. Unless you look up the fact that Essex is technically a desert, but there's not much sand anyway.
I'm just going to stop there. How do you explain that?
It's the amount of rainfall we actually get in Essex is considered ridiculously low for where we are. So technically, geographically, it is a desert.
What? So you get it every other day then? Because it constantly rains in the UK.
Yeah, I don't get it because I feel like it rains all the time here. But apparently, we don't get that much rain in Essex, so we are geographically classified as a desert. I don't get it. I didn't do geography. I'm really bad at it. As you can tell by my basic description of Africa 51 just being under I know I said the Sahara Desert, but let's face it, it's not just sand. But I used the most basic definition of what a desert was. Because, I mean, let's face it, I was under a lot of influence of alcohol when I came up with this story as well, as I'm sure will be explained in the actual episode. So I thought of a desert like Nevada, where Area 51 is. Thought, oh, where else is a desert? The Sahara is the biggest, it's the first desert I think of because history in Egypt and shit. So, what? And I thought, like I said, Africa starts with an A. Area 51, so Africa 51. This is really, and then
sand. The alliteration was just perfect.
Yeah, and then obviously, what's in a desert? Sand. Like it all links really dodgily in a drunk man's brain.
I'm thinking through this as we're talking about it, and I'm like, why in the world did I not make some sort of like t-shirt collection where like one of them just says Africa 51 and there's sand and there's like this other?
Because the government would have shut it down because they don't want us to know about it.
Aha, the boys got it. Well, I could have stuck it like in some kind of foreign language, like Hinkadinga, for example. They wouldn't understand.
Oh yeah, only I'm fluent enough in that language.
Those fucking translations, man. I'm sure we'll talk about those later on too.
Probably.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's carry on.
Yeah, weird fact, Essex is by definition a desert because
it's a lot of dry, crusty people there, but not a lot of sand.
Yeah, there's not.
That's a better explanation.
The Sahara Desert, lots of this shit. Honestly, watch any documentary on Egypt, you'll see fucking tons of it. Pyramids, what are they made of? Aliens. No, I'm joking.
I hate myself.
Aliens didn't build the pyramids. I mean, no, I'm not even going to entertain that idea. That's completely ridiculous.
Well, just to correct you for a second, did you say it was made of or made by?
Both.
Yeah, I think I said made of, but both I'm pretty sure are factually accurate at this point. But then you think, that's where the madness of this Frog Ninja story ends. He just, made it, eventually bought a plushie, and that was that. No, it got worse. So we were then, I believe, we were having, was it tacos for dinner?
I reckon it was.
We were sitting out there in that conservatory that we can look at now. I think it was probably our first meal together in the house. And we were all joking about Frog Ninja making the... Because when I played Smash after that, whenever I was playing as Ninja, he was Frog Ninja, and he wouldn't... Obviously, because he was infused with sand, he can no longer use water-type attacks. So he was just using Sand Attack! Like, he just... Yeah, it became a thing where I just sneak up behind Glitter, who's over there reading at the moment, but it's a fact. I sneak up behind her and just scream, "Send!" and scare the shit out of her. It was quite fun. But yeah, it got worse. So then that night at dinner...
I'm just going to stop it there for a second, and I'm going to retell another story with respect to this screaming sand thing you did. So when we first moved into that house in Winchester, we started off with 3 people and 1 room available. And I think a couple weeks after you moved in, we had a person visit that was interested in the room. Somebody that me and Glitter were familiar with from before. He came in, he saw the room, was interested. And then he ended up spending the evening with us, like playing video games and eating snacks and whatever. And well, you couldn't stop yourself. So at some point, and he was just the most scaredy of fucking human beings on the planet. And so he sat in one of these. It's a very cheap, awful, like IKEA, like lounge chair. Well, a terrible design. I despised it every second we had it. Sure enough, he's sitting there. You come in, you scream sand, and he jumps in this fucking chair, and the thing buckles under his relatively large ass.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, whilst still in the chair is going at an angle of 45 degrees sideways, and his ass is touching the floor whilst in the seat.
It's the power of Frog Ninja, man. It's just unbeatable, you know.
It's in his repertoire as some sort of attack. It's like seismic sand, is it?
Yeah, that's exactly. I will say the habit of just walking into a room and shouting "sand" has died down over the years. I might have to pick it back up.
Yeah, well, you don't have too many victims anymore where you're living, right?
Yeah, I'll find some.
I'm sure.
Walk into random people's houses and scream "sand" and run out again.
All right, well, carrying on.
I decided to flesh out his backstory even more. So yes, he was made at Africa 51. Yes, he's a mutant frog who was given the powers of sand and trained as a ninja because that makes sense for some reason. And then he basically, we realized he's got godlike power. Like if someone questions him, he just throws sand in their face and then kicks them in the gonads and runs away. But he's more powerful than that. Because basically, he's time traveling as well. I don't know how this factors into him, but he can travel in time. It's the only explanation for the rest of this story, I think.
The sand of time, obviously.
Just butt in for a second and tell something. This is the first impressions of SaiyanVader living in the house with us. Yes, he comes up with this fantastic creature that can do anything, and when God created the universe and Earth and whatever the Christians would believe, he had to ask Frog Ninja first.
Yeah. So the first impression King's Eyes ever had of me was me complaining that
so there we go.
Correct. And then the first impression of me moving into the house was me creating Frog Ninja, which is the most omnipotent, overpowered BS being in history, but I love him.
He is the definition of Deus Ex Machina.
My house mascot very quickly. He became our house mascot very quickly to the point where he is now permanently stuck on our whiteboard in our kitchen because the pen dried out and we can't do it.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Oh, shit. I remember that.
Yeah, and to make this even worse, I will specify I had no alcohol at this point. Just none.
No, the alcohol made it worse later.
And this is what I came up with. So honestly, I mean, it's not. To be fair, it's probably the weirdest character I've ever come up with. But I've come up with like Gulag, the Russian businessman from Russia. Gulag. We have lots of fun.
He makes an appearance in a later episode.
Didn't you do a full episode as Gulag at one point?
Yeah, he makes an appearance in the Borat 2 episode.
Of course. Yeah. Well, it's on the chopping block here somewhere.
Fantastic. Oh dear.
Poo Leaf Man or something like that, which is a Korok from Legend of Zelda. I need to find that what you said.
Poo Leaf Man, yes.
Gang as well, which we'll get to in a bit. And so I think so as King's Eyes alluded to, he is that powerful that he went back in time. And when God, if you're Christian or whatever you believe in, created the universe, implying there's a being of some sort, he had to ask Frog Ninja for permission first. And all Frog Ninja did was throw sand into the face of God and fucked off. And then God was like, I think that was a yes, and then made everything. And then, no, it gets worse.
Of course it does. Of course it gets worse.
Of course.
Went back to the start of Africa, and he is the reason that the deserts were put there. So actually, he was like the original pharaoh. He created the sands of Egypt. He built the pyramids. That's why we know aliens didn't do it, because it was a mutant frog that originates from underneath the Sahara Desert.
That makes sense.
He basically founded
perfectly
the African deserts and the Egyptian nation. So if any of you Egyptologists out there looking at you, Saffron, well, not really, because you're small. You've got Frog Ninja to thank for your beloved
Just to
nation.
pause, Saffron, for anybody uninitiated, is the proprietor of Pharaoh of the Opera, one of the other shows on the network.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah, she's small.
She is very small.
Cleopatra wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Frog Ninja. That's all I'm saying, right? It's just straight facts at this point. And then I think at this point I was still devastated by the effects of Avengers Endgame. I say that as if I'm still not now. If you haven't seen it, it's a brilliant film, but I cry every time when Iron Man dies. Spoilers, but if you haven't seen it by now, you clearly don't care enough.
Facts.
So you have failed? Nothing has changed between seasons?
No, not really. Except I'm finally explaining my best creation ever. Even when I have kids, Frog Ninja will outdo them, I think. Which is more inventive? A child,
I stand by it.
Is like, or literally the most omnipotent being in existence?
Your argument is so good too.
All humans can make children. Not all humans can make an overpowered Frog Ninja.
It's like either you can make the stupid baby or you can make the fucking omnipotent Frog Ninja.
All humans can do one. Only certain humans can do the other. That's all I'm saying.
And you're not wrong. Continuing.
Then decided to travel to the MCU universe because he can just do that as well.
Why not? There's a multiverse now.
There is. Inevitable. He clicks, realizes the stones aren't there. Tony's all ready to say, "And I am Iron Man." Then FrogNinja just shows up, throws sand in Thanos' face, and then him and his entire army just disintegrate into sand. And Tony's like, "Oh, I'm alive!" And that is a much better ending to Endgame because Iron Man survived and FrogNinja.
I'm annoyed that I didn't pause there whilst we were recording the episode, and actually we delved into that much more because it's such a brilliant ending.
I think that the writers at the MCU were slacking, and I'm not saying I could have done a better job, but clearly I could.
No, but dude, it's also like FrogNinja fits so perfectly into that because everybody literally turns into sand and dust.
Exactly.
He is there.
Like, it's not even like I would have put up a big licensing deal. Like, no. I was a student. I would have done it for a couple of thousand. You don't need to give me millions.
Yeah.
Like, just give me a bit of money and I'll give you easily the life. I mean, you can't, take him completely, but like to use his likeness and name and powers in a film, like he's clearly a movie star. So he's made for it. He's a fucking legend. So of course, Marvel fucked up. So I'm saying.
Yeah, they fucked up not speaking to you. It's
because FrogNinja wasn't included in Endgame that we got the Eternals. That's all I'm saying. And like Spider-Man No Way Home, like Sandman would have been so much easier to deal with if FrogNinja was there. You don't need 3 Spider-Men when you've literally got a guy who can neutralize one of the villains in like snapping his fingers. Like, come on, guys. Just think about it.
Well, respectfully, I'm kind of glad we got No Way Home, even with that in mind.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we got No Way Home. All I'm saying is FrogNinja would have helped a lot.
Continuing on.
He's there. And then, he just went to every other thing. He went to Justice League and just destroyed it because that was a mess. He's basically omnipotent at this point.
To be fair, a lot of the directors of Justice League also did him some favors there.
Yeah, there is that. And then he went to the Rise of Skywalker, and as Rey went, "Who are you? Rey, FrogNinja literally punched her in the face, then threw the sands of Tatooine over her, and went, 'How'd you feel now, bitch?' And then he went, 'I'm FrogNinja Skywalker,' and fucked off out of there, right? Because that is quite frankly, well, I've made that one up on the spot. That was not part of the original story, but I'm happy about it because fuck Rey, honestly.
Once again, I've written a better story than the people who wrote the actual Star Wars films.
First time watching Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, you did.
Watching Star Wars was the first time. I was like, I wonder if she's going to get angry. And she started cheering and clapping when Rey said that, and I literally turned off that video so fast and disliked it.
Quick yes/no question: Rey deserving of Skywalker?
No.
Easy and done.
I hate her with a passion.
It's just awful. It's acceptable in Lego Star Wars, but that's about it.
No. If you think Rey should be a Skywalker, also fuck off.
There you go. There's my opinion. Has not changed.
It's not changed, man.
Buried under the sands of Tatooine because obviously he can control all sand. But obviously a omnipotent, overpowered superhero. I say superhero. He just attacks random people. But Frog, even he needs his teammates, and he has the best in the business. He has Spartan, the Mega Charizard X. He has Snek, the really aggressive Gyarados, and he has Slowdick. Really, really just... He's happy to be there, Slowpoke.
I remember these guys.
Spartan is just about the plushie.
Did you actually remember the super team or the X-Force here prior to listening to this?
Yeah, I actually did, because I mean, I've got the Spartan plushie. I've got my Mega Charizard X plushie. I still, to this day, I haven't done it yet because they're just very expensive. I want to get a Gyarados plushie for Snek, and I want to get the Slowpoke plushie for Slowdick, because obviously Spartan originated so I had the plushie first, and then the character was he became a character based on that, obviously after the creation of FrogNinja. Snek and Slowdick originated from a Nuzlocke I did of randomized Nuzlocke I did of Pokemon Red on obviously on emulator, and Gyarados was my starter Pokemon, and I got it to level 20 before the first gym, and so with Bite and then eventually Crunch, like I just it just ate everything. So it became super aggressive as a character because it just and then just spit their heads out and just eat them. Like no matter what, it'd bite off its head. Like it come across on YouTube, bite its head off and just kill it. And then Slow Dick was just I didn't need it because I already had a super powerful Gyarados. So Slow Dick was just a Pokemon caught on a route that I kept on the team because I just really grew to like him. So he, like I said, he's just happy to be there. Sneck just kills everything that gets in its way by biting its head off. Spartan's just this cool Charizard X, and then Frog Ninja's just a literal psychopath. Like it is like you say, it's more the X-Force than it is any other superhero team because it is just a ragtag group of people that should not be together because they're incredibly dangerous. But also, they're all idiots. So
it's not entirely unlike the gang that lived in that house in Winchester, then.
No, but I do still, to complete the gang, I need to get the Sneck and Slow Dick plushies. That is something on my to-do list.
Still. I think also, just for humor's sake, I did listen to this last week, and I think you just did a perfect duplicate of their actual story.
I told you, I genuinely remember them.
Yes, so you did prove me right on that one. Good. Let's continue.
That I've got. So he had to join the crew. Sneck is when Glitter and I just decided to randomly do a Nuzlocke of Pokemon Red one day. Our starter was a Gyarados. We called it Sneck. And then I leveled it to like level 20 before the first gym. And from that point onwards, if you used Bite on it, it killed everything in a one shot. So we come up with this big story that Sneck is just the most aggressive Pokemon in history and will literally just eat anything in its way. It's like, it just bites its head off.
It's
and
a perfect duplicate.
But the one thing you can't do that to is Frog Ninja because it respects it. Oh, and Slow Dick, because Slow Dick is a slow poke that me and Glitter also caught in that playthrough. And he's just a bit ditzy. He's just happy to be there, and Sneck is very protective of him. But obviously, the group's leader is now Frog Ninja. And it's just... It sounds ridiculous saying it out loud. I mean, it's always been ridiculous. And yeah, he's now the leader as they go around and they fight Samurai Toad.
Yes, the Venusaur.
An angry Venusaur who didn't get the right kind of training at Africa 51 and is now Frog Ninja's sworn enemy.
Samurai Toad. I couldn't remember his name, but I knew his arch enemy was a Venusaur. It's not that
much to the point now where if I do play a Pokemon game and I get a Pokemon that learns Sand Attack, I won't make them like unlearn Sand Attack because I know it's that much of an overpowered move now.
I still do this.
The interesting thing about that is though, I looked up Greninja's moveset. It can't learn Sand Attack.
It actually can't. I'm sure yourself. Greninja can't learn it.
Genuinely impossible. Is it?
Genuinely impossible for
what a shame.
Greninja's line to learn Sand Attack. Last time I checked, unless I looked wrong or that has changed. And I'm sure if it has, someone might tell me. Last time I checked, Greninja physically can't actually learn Sand Attack.
That would be a genuinely appreciated comment on either his personal or the show's Twitter or his Discord, actually.
Yeah, we'll do that now then. We'll segue into that very quickly. Yeah, so
that's my one positive contribution to that episode is I segued that very neatly.
Yeah, I mean, every little helps.
Yeah, well, I just find listening to myself there, I'm sitting there I'm present. I'm listening to what he has to say because he's way fucking funnier to listen to than me. And it's not untrue.
If you do want to correct me on being wrong, which I could be here, but I don't think I am, you can either join the Discord. Link to that is on my personal Twitter, which is @VaderSaiyan. But you could also let me know there. The reason it's not @SaiyanVader is because some other prick has that one, hasn't tweeted since like 2013. Now I can't have my name.
Still as bitter.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So cheers, mate.
Good.
Called out.
Yeah, so you can either join the Discord from there. It's the pinned tweet on my main account for the Discord, or just tweet me on there. Or go to @YouHaveFailedSV to let me know on the show's page, or just follow all three, join all three, whatever word you want to use, because that'd be greatly appreciated to meet like-minded failures, just like you, and clearly just like me, because I couldn't even say that fucking sentence. Yeah, and oh no, don't drop my phone. Don't worry, guys, it's protected because I have a case from King Styles Apparel, which is the sponsor. They do brilliant shirts, brilliant hoodies, shorts,
wow,
bottoms, phone cases.
That's incredible.
Other things, they do other things.
We do other things.
What other things?
Stickers.
Stickers, we do sticker.
There is a go-go power failure sticker.
I hadn't been told about this yet. I need a new sticker. You have the creators of King's Eyes Collection, which does still have a SaiyanVader shirt, so go check that out. It's pretty cool too.
You actually will get the references on that shirt.
Yeah, it's got Sand Attack times 30 and Frog Ninja, and no one would have had a fucking clue what that meant before. But now you get it. Buy the shirt to support your favourite amphibious godlike creature. Or hell, Frog Ninja.
Did I tell you that about 30% of all the merch that was purchased there, I actually lost when I moved out?
Did you?
Yeah, like the hoodie that I was constantly wearing with the purple sigil logo and everything, gone.
Oh, that's awful, man.
Yeah, well, shit happens, I suppose. Some of the new stuff I've been planning is cool. And also, in terms of hoodies, there's literally no hoodie that is as cool as the Attack on Failure one.
No, very true, very true. I love that hoodie so much. Do you want to know some other good news?
Let's hear.
I'm now buying a Snack and Slow Dick plushie.
Of course you are. Well, it's good then that we get these reminders from listening to this.
Yeah, I'm going to complete the group now.
Madness is Frog Ninja. I don't even know how to decide whether he's fouled or not. I mean, he can't. If I say he's fouled, I'll die probably in my sleep.
You will more than likely die
from omnipotence.
Yes.
So yeah, it's. I mean, I love him. He's my baby, and to be fair, he sits on my lap a lot when we play stuff like Cards Against Humanity, just because it's good to have Frog Ninja around. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you go back to the Fairies Against Humanity episode, I know you guys can't obviously see that, but I think I mentioned that I did bring Frog Ninja, and he was on my lap during that recording session.
He was. I remember that.
And to be fair,
it was a good episode.
It was.
It didn't work. The recording failed. I recorded an entire first episode to a new Pokemon Nuzlocke thing for my YouTube channel that failed, and then I gave up because I got angry. But I might try again soon, where Frog Ninja actually was present, because I did face cam for the first time. I don't know if I told you I was going to do that. I had like face cam ready and everything, and I had Frog Ninja sitting there. He was in the face cam, so you could see him. So you would have seen him first on YouTube, technically, but the recording failed, and then it just didn't work, and
that's a shame.
So I might try again. Who fucking knows at this point?
It fits your marketing that you failed.
Yeah, I failed. Yeah, that's the reason I did it. Yeah, it wasn't because stuff went wrong. I did it for, the lols and the, failure, woo! Because I love putting out nothing on YouTube, which, to be fair, isn't true. I've got shit tons of Apex videos stacked up and ready to upload.
I never uploaded.
You sure didn't?
I've got about 5 at least to be uploaded.
Is Frog Ninja in any of
them? He played.
He played
because they're all wins. I never get wins, but it was Frog Ninja play. Obviously,
of course.
He just gets the W's.
Obviously, what's Sand Attack?
You can't see it in the game because he focused it through the bullet of a gun, but he basically did use that. Yeah. To be fair, after that, the Apex Games commissioners actually came up to him and went, "Look, we would make you one of the Apex Legends, but you're too overpowered. Like the other ones are all balanced, whether it's Robo, Spider-Man in Pathfinder, who also looks like a Teletubby crossed with C-3PO. Just saying, whether it's the Gas Man Caustic, who's really fat. He was told he was too overpowered for everything else.
That checks out. He's broken.
Still very much is.
Froggy just stared them dead in the eye, screamed sand, kicked them in the gonads, and fucked off.
Yeah, after throwing sand in their faces, it was like, fuck you and your Apex games. Like, you're not good enough for me. I nearly said a word that I said I wouldn't say on the podcast.
Well, do you want to skip into how he handles language? Not necessarily the cadence of it, but how, more of his backstory, even.
Language.
That was faulty how I phrased that.
I mean, he has a weird way of explaining how Africa 51 is situated. Like, what's there in terms of there is.
Let me just stop. My lead in there is just fucking awful.
Yeah, I can understand where I got confused.
Yeah,
knowing where you're going with the whole Sand Attack thing, I get it in hindsight, but. You didn't word it well.
I simply did not, and I'm terribly sorry.
That's fine. We all make mistakes. We do. Episode 1.
I'll be sure to remind you of that soon enough. Don't worry.
Thank you.
No worries. You asked for it, mate. Let's continue.
Yes. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. No, the fact that because obviously he's so dumb because he's a frog. As much as I ask you to suspend your disbelief when telling you this story, which is obviously all factually accurate, none of it's made up whatsoever. You can fact check it. It's all on Wikipedia. Should we make a Wikipedia article? Anyone can edit that, can't they?
We should make a Wikipedia.
Anyone can edit that, so it's fine. There is
We
Wikipedia article.
should.
Go check that out.
I don't think we did.
The episode.
We should.
Yeah.
Frog Ninja. Yeah, so because he's a frog, that's obviously incredibly believable. But because he's still a frog, he can't really speak. So yeah, sort of the extent of his vocab is sand, but he's like, "There's only sand in my home," or "sand attack," or "sand." He's not very literate. Neither am I. If you've heard me stumble or spell episodes wrong about 50 million times.
Let's making sure you never forget it.
That's a brilliant shirt, to be fair. Go check out the episode shirt where I can't spell. In fairness, I'm very literate when I'm speaking. I just can't type for shit.
No, I'm not.
That is correct. Yeah.
Like,
I've just never let you forget about the whole Epsido thing, though, have I?
No, some way people don't let me forget that I always spell excited wrong when I'm texting for some reason.
How do you spell it? Exited?
I put exited instead of excited. Even though I know how to spell both words, but it's something that I think my phone just autocorrects it now. I just think it thinks I don't know what excited means and just write exited all the time. Because I can't be getting it wrong every single time.
All right. We're halfway through the episode, by the way.
Oh, Jesus.
when I'm talking, I'm fine. But I just cannot type for shit. And my spelling is appalling. That's where it lets me down. If I start writing down what I'm saying, I look so illiterate. But if I'm speaking, you wouldn't know. Although I do stumble when recording, but everyone does that. So he might get his illiterateness from me, to be fair, as his adoptive father. I do love him very much, despite the fact that I know he could kill me at any point. But he wouldn't do that. I mean, I say that, he probably would. He's got a very long tongue, though, doesn't he? Like, we're all fascinated by how long, weird the tongue is that he wraps around his neck. It's like, what? By the way, if you don't know what a GrenNinja is, because I'm aware there might be some people that actually don't know what this looks like, you just go on to Google while you're listening to this, or, you know...
Oh, well, no. We'll spring a surprise on you for this one. I'll make a thumbnail with a minute.
There is a thumbnail with that.
Explain that right there.
Yeah, no, I was going to get
very
to that.
good.
So, just make sure you know what a GrenNinja looks like. So, you know. Yeah, so then at some point, this was during the dinner as well, I decided he needed to catch up. I didn't decide, it just sort of came about that whenever he... That's the other two words you can say, yeah. Whenever he throws sand into someone's face, he does sort of like a Wakanda symbol, but the other way around. So it's not right over left, it's left over right, because we don't want to copy Wakanda.
Like that.
There's Frog Ninja! So like that. And then, I mean, if you're a human and you're doing the salute, you have to then put both your arms sort of pointing out and up to the right. And then go, oh, because that's his tongue. So what he would do is he'd do the symbol, Frog Ninja, because his tongue is like, he obviously wears it like a scarf, so it sort of blows in the wind, because his tongue goes, blah, blah, blah. So when you do the salute, it's Frog Ninja, blah, and that's how it works.
Let's explain it even simpler then. It's the Wakanda, but the wrists the wrong way, and then it's almost a dab motion, and then you...
Oh, yeah, no, to be fair, that's a very, so it's Wakanda other way around with left over right.
Listen to the Hinga just preferring simplicity here.
Yeah, I didn't explain it too well, but in fairness, when you're trying to explain the fictional salute of Frog Ninja, it's, I mean, not fictional, very real salute of a Frog Ninja.
Real.
It's hard to get right, especially when, I mean, GrenNinja does have such weird, well, I don't know why its tongue is wrapped around its neck like a scarf. It was a weird choice on Nintendo's part, but we work with it, and it came up with a great little salute that I think we all enjoy. So
we do. What I think is more concerning with the tongue there, what if the tongue ever catches on something whilst he's jumping or whatever? That's an instantly snapped neck.
Oh, sure, he's fine.
The trainer says on the ground, I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, Frog Ninja's fun though, because you can't snap it.
Yeah, you can't kill Frog Ninja, but GrenNinja, that's another story.
Oh yeah, well, GrenNinja's fucked, but
yeah,
Frog Ninja, he's fine.
Yeah, of course.
You break his neck, he breaks yours back.
He breaks it with sand.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he breaks the bones into sand. Could be one of those.
Probably that one.
Yeah. All right, continuing.
Dab. With sort of jazz hands. And then
obviously the dramatic way of going, Frog Ninja!
Yes, you got to do the Frog Ninja! And that is how you salute our Lord and Saviour when he eventually gets a church erected for him, which should happen any day now as people start to realise he is their Lord and Saviour.
Well, now that the religion and the symbol of same is explained. obviously.
Yeah. The Church of Frog Ninja will obviously start imminently, very soon, I'm sure. And I mean, I'd go everywhere. I'd go every day. Fuck uni. Like, I'm paying £9,000 for a fucking Netflix service. I'd rather go to the Church of Frog Ninja every day.
We still have not forgotten.
Like, instead of sort of blessing you with oil, we just throw sand in your face. And instead of burning incense, I just burn in sand in the corner of the
That's
room.
what a baptism will look like.
Yeah,
it's
that
just
That's
a baptism
perfect.
as a priest dressed as a fucking frog. They just throw sand in your face.
And dipping a child's head then in,
Sand.
what would be a vat of oil usually, but it's just the sandcastle.
Actually, his church is just a giant sandcastle. Because everything is to do with sand. His house is made of sand.
There is no food, there is only sand.
Yeah, he doesn't eat food, there's only sand. He doesn't live in a house, there's only sand. He doesn't have a shower, there is only sand.
In the game of which he was conceptualized, he throws a blue star that is then blue sand.
Yeah, because obviously in Smash Bros, you can't change the colour of the attacks because that's a bit dumb. What if someone invents a mutant omnipotent frog and they need to change the storyline or whatever, right? So yeah, he just throws blue coloured sand, and that is the length that I am willing to go to carry on the story of Frog Ninja. And
Makes sense.
the worst part is I know that none of this, I think none of it's made up. Technically, all of it isn't. It's all real. But all of this that I'm recording to you did in fact happen, including the bit where he threw sand in God's face. Which I don't. To be fair, maybe I shouldn't say that bit happened because that will have people who don't believe in God up in arms. So that bit's up to interpretation. Maybe he just threw it at the Big Bang and started that shit. You never know. All we know is everything else happened, right? I didn't say anything else. It's controversial if I say it was.
I don't think so. And even with that, take this with a pinch of salt and consider it lighthearted fun. If that's what you wanted to believe it.
Pinch of sand.
Yes.
I served it up too
pinch of
nicely.
sand, and then if you don't believe it, Frog Ninja will throw sand in your face and kick you in the gonads. So it's up to you, really. It's your choice.
And then scream Frog Ninja and fuck off.
Yeah, Frog Ninja! And then just run away.
Finish now, everybody knows to salute.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. If you're listening to this, if you're listening to this, I'd love it. Please record yourself doing the Frog Ninja salute, and either send it to the Twitter, my personal one, which is obviously @Vader saying, the show one. Oh, please do this, which is @YouHaveFailedSV, or onto the Discord server. Just please send me. I might create a thing on Discord just for Frog Ninja. I should do that. Please just send in clips of you doing the Frog Ninja salute, and I will somehow make a compilation and feature it somewhere on the website or something. I don't know.
I'll put up a challenge for it right now. If we can get at the very least 10 people to do it, I'll make an instructional T-shirt where you see the motions, like illustrated.
Okay, guys, I'm not going to stress enough to you how much I want that shirt to be real. So please, I beg, if you're listening to this, even in 10 years' time, because I'll still hold that to clean years, I will literally hold this against you until this is done, right? If we can just get...
Just to pause, did you remember this?
I remember asking people to do the salute and send it in. I did not remember there was a shirt on the line.
Which would have been cool too, actually.
It would have been. You all let me down. However, like I said, there's no time limit on it. So, guys, if you're listening to this, I'm just saying.
Well, it's definitely something we could, start as a trend and would get more than 10.
It's not the worst idea.
Well, we can talk about it off air. But regardless, let's carry on.
Just get 10 people, at least 10. However, if there's more than 10, I will fucking love it, and I'll compile those videos and put them somewhere, right? Please, I'll make it my fucking wallpaper or something on my laptop. I'll find a way. Just please send in you doing the Frog Ninja salute. So remember, it's left over right, so the opposite of Wakanda, and then dab, right? To be fair, I might, when this episode goes out, I might put my own instructional video on Twitter just in case you need the help.
Yeah, I forgot.
6 seconds.
You bastard!
Yeah, it's not long. It's literally that took what?
You forgot.
3 seconds I'm recording. So that's So it's not very long. Please just send them in, please. I want that shirt so much. I also want to see this because I think it'd be really funny. But I really want that goddamn shirt. So. And you can do a stupid voice if you want. I don't care. And if you do a stupid voice, but that's your real voice, be proud of it, guys. I'm not here to judge your voices. Mine sounds awful, but you listen to it, so
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Honestly, why the fuck do you do that? To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them skip like a minute knowing I'm done with the singing. That's what I tend to do when I listen to my own episodes.
One can only hope, right?
Although when you sung, I do listen to that because that was brilliant. Your singing was fantastic.
It was fantastic until I put the backing track to it.
I think the only person I know who is a better singer than me is Saffron. She didn't see the air quotation marks, right?
I'm sure she.
Brilliant singing voice. I loved her rendition of Phantom of the Opera. Saffron, it's fantastic. Woo! Yeah. So please,
I'm an asshole.
do your FrogNinja's.
Just
send it in private. My Twitter.
That's just being a raging dickhead right there.
1000%.
Yeah, it was fun. It was just fun what we were doing there.
I don't take it back though.
That, and also we were referencing my singing. That was in the previous episode where I did, what was it, like a We Are the Champions rendition, but I think I just called you a dickhead throughout.
Yeah, I think it was just "You Are a Dickhead, my friend" was what you went for, yeah.
Oh, well, wait, there was actually a key line now that I think about it. It was like, "You and's a dickhead, a massive fucking bellend."
That sounds about right.
I shouldn't be remembering these things, but okay. Regardless, let's continue.
Or the Discord. If you want links to any of those and you can't bother to type it out, go to kingseyes.life. If you go onto the show page, you'll find links to the Discord and the show page Twitter there. And then on the show page Twitter, you have a link to my personal Twitter. So obviously follow me anyway, because I post really random shit that I'm sure you'll find funny. And the show page is obviously the best place to find updates for the show. And the Discord, do what the fuck you want there. It's all about having fun and being a failure, so it's great. But yeah, please do FrogNinja salutes. That's a brilliant idea. I love that. We need that. I mean, the shirt was a brilliant idea. It was my idea to do the salutes, but
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself for that idea. Yeah, I mean, God, FrogNinja is just a bit like. What else do you say about him? I think I've proved my insanity this week, haven't I?
I would argue maybe you have, or at the very least, you've harbored madness for about a year.
But then this is me sober without any. I wasn't recording anything. I just came up with FrogNinja just randomly.
There was not even like cannabis edibles involved.
No, there's no influence from any external substances. I'm just a bit loony. But let's be fair, we got a house mascot out of it, and where would we be without FrogNinja? We wouldn't have the pyramids. That's just what's a fact.
Wouldn't have an explanation for it.
No, we don't have an explanation for the pyramids. Everyone would be like, "Oh, aliens," and that's a bit dumb. Oh, look, it's an alien. Oh, fuck. I mean,
is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's an amphibious ninja.
Yeah, that's a good sketch.
Have we left them thinking you're insane at this point?
Yes.
I mean, if they don't think I'm insane, I don't think they've listened to the right podcast.
Well, if there is more to uncover on it, then maybe it's due for a bonus episode. If you can't, maybe send them home.
Yeah.
We're on the bonus episode now.
It's here.
Fuck their brains enough. Like, but basically, one thing is for sure, though, guys, you can take any fictional film. All films are fictional. Well, not all of it. You know what I mean, right? You can take any film, put FrogNinja into the plot, and you can guarantee it works. Give me a film, King's Ice. Go one that I know the plot of, obviously. Don't get me wrong.
Girl Next Door.
Girl Next Door. FrogNinja throws sand in on their faces. They all die. Next one.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Oh my god. I don't know if I want it to be in the film.
Wow, that cackling.
He shows up. He calls Emperor Ming a racist and a bit sexist. Throws sand in his face. Kicks him in the gonads. Pushes him off, and then goes, "Flash Gordon, you're a bit of a dunce too." Then punches him in the face. Moves along. Guess have you got any films?
Can I just say, at this point, I hadn't actually learned the definition of nonce yet.
Had you not?
I had not. Literally,
Wow.
I think it was earlier this year that I actually got it proper. Like, oh, that's what it is. Oh shit.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we even had like a conversation, or no, we had one of these quiplash games we do every so often.
yes, it was during that you learned it, wasn't it? Oh god.
I was something like that where you, or yeah, I went along with being called a nonce, and you just totally was like,
I just assumed you knew.
I just felt like an idiot after.
Yeah.
But now I know better. I through my failures, I have learned.
Yeah. No, I mean, FrogNinja and Flash Gordon is just an interesting concept as well. Because I mean, I love Flash Gordon. It's one of the only films where I'll say it's so bad that it's good. Like it's that awful and corny that I can actually enjoy Flash Gordon. But I mean, FrogNinja in that I think that'd be amazing because he's also just an inherently corny character.
You did an episode on that too. in which
I have done one, yes.
Yes, I can't unsee it because I did the thumbnail for it, and like you as Emperor Meng.
Oh, you made me Emperor Ming, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I had as Emperor Meng.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, it's less offensive than Emperor Ming. God, that.
I guess so.
It's the only film that I've ever. It's the only film.
It was a bellend with a beard on the poster, so it checks out.
The way I look at it, that is the only film I've ever seen be re-released, and when it's been re-released, they had to put a warning at the front to express that the views expressed in the film do not reflect modern day society. And that is why I love so much about Flash Gordon, because it is very sexist, very rapey, very misogynistic.
Oof.
Back then it was okay.
Well, it has the disclaimer on it, so it's good.
Yeah, it makes it's a fun film. When like those sort of things, say it's not good, I don't agree with it, but it is still just a cheesy fun film. But we're not talking about Flash Gordon right now. We'll get to that when that episode comes up.
Yes, indeed. In the meantime, Frog Ninja.
Only a few minutes left of this episode, I presume.
We got about 12 minutes left.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, it's good.
It is. I'm just surprised I talked about it for this long.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's reminiscing. Let's carry on.
Jurassic Park. It's easy, isn't it? The T-Rex shows up, and then Frog Ninja shows up, goes, Frog Ninja! Throws sand in the T-Rex's face, and it just reduces itself back to a bag of bones. Oh my god, no, hang on. No, this is an interesting idea. Guys, if you can recall, and I'm speaking to you guys now, and obviously as well as the audience, what DNA was mixed with the dinosaurs to complete their DNA sequence?
Frog.
Oh, Lord. Oh my god, all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are part of Frog Ninja.
I forgot this.
Yeah, a million kids. So basically, we confirmed that Frog Ninja was in Jurassic Park from the very beginning.
Oh, shit.
He'd just show up and destroy the whole film. That'd make that better. Back to the Future. I mean, that's how we time traveled. You just stole the DeLorean from Doc.
Oh my god, you did drive in a DeLorean.
Schindler's List. He was the list.
He made it of sand.
He was the list.
Yeah. He was Schindler. Liam Neeson was honest, like Frog Ninja in that film. They had to change his name for obviously copyright reasons against me, who was born, I think, after the film was made. But
Dora the Explorer?
Dora the Explorer?
Yeah.
Swiping, no swiping, swiping, no send! Swiper just runs off into a bush like, ah!
Bear in mind, folks, he doesn't even have bullet points for any of this.
No, I'm making this all up as I go along. God, this is fun. We can keep doing this for about 5 minutes. It's fun.
We shall. Shoot.
You can give up listening by now, guys, if you want. But if you don't, I'm proud of you. Quick fire films. Actually, guys, also, that's another challenge for Twitter and Discord. If you want, just name me films and I'll write out how Frog Ninja fits into those films. That's another challenge for social media.
If people do want to still do this, do it.
Transformers, in the live action Michael Bay ones,
yes.
He'd make them not exist. He'd just punch Michael Bay. He wouldn't even kick him. He'd punch him in the dick. And then throw sand in his face, and then curb stomp him, and then leave. Yeah, but on my Twitter, just literally tag me.
I agree.
And name a film, and then I will reply and retweet saying how the film would be improved by Frog Ninja. Anyway, sorry, carry on. Glitter, you can keep going if you want as well, because you are here. Snakes on a plane. He'd take those snakes, fill them with sand, and then throw them at the rest of the passengers and watch the plane crash because he's Frog Ninja and he gives no fucks. Next!
The original Super Mario Bros. Film.
He would be Luigi because Danny DeVito is priceless and you can't replace him. And then would literally go to Bowser. Mario would be like, I'm not gonna win. And then Frog Ninja's like, sand! And literally just yeets Bowser into a vat of sand. Rambo? Frog Ninja is Rambo.
Yeah,
those guns did not shoot bullets, my friend.
Fair.
Pure projectile sand.
Indiana Jones.
The desert they're in. That wasn't there before Frog Ninja. He buried the Ark of the Covenant.
How in the fuck hasn't you come up with all this?
I'm just that good. It's that an extensive film knowledge.
Remember, he made the sands of Egypt. He buried that shit. He was like, God, look, you've put it here. I'm going to hide it. You made a mistake with that one.
Well, he must have done some series and things too. What was his connection to Kitchen Nightmares?
Kitchen Nightmares?
Yeah.
He is Gordon Ramsay. How do you think Gordon Ramsay is so angry all the time? It's because he's actually Frog Ninja in disguise. Listen to him now. Where's the bloody lamb sauce? Which basically translates to, this is too dry. It's like the sand back home. That's what that translates. Whenever he's complaining it's dry, it's because all he's got is sand. He doesn't know what moisture is. Tonight I'm kitchen nightmares. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay, I'm sorry. No, actually, no, you should be honoured to be compared to Frog Ninja. Although he isn't Frog Ninja, obviously. Gordon Ramsay is his own brilliant chef, but Frog Ninja is basically his tour manager. That's how that works.
Just very much, yes. So.
Yeah. Yeah, all those TikToks Gordon Ramsay does, produced by Frog Ninja.
He holds the camera.
He does, yeah.
And then throws sand at Gordon after.
Yeah, he's like, that was a shit review, send! And Gordon's like, I'm sorry, I'll get the lamb sauce. I'm an idiot sandwich. And then moves along promptly. It's even worse because this is all off the cuff.
If you haven't proven insanity in the last 5.
Hey, also, we didn't touch on sandwich. Like fucking hell.
I think I was too busy coming up with film plots at the time.
You were. Is there actually a dish that you would like actually make frog a dinner meal?
I mean, if you're in France.
Well, that's even more. There's a troublesome connection of cannibalism there with Gordon Ramsay and Frog Ninja then.
But I wouldn't eat frog because, that's disgusting.
It is a bit oof. Okay, well, we got a couple more minutes to go. Let's see.
5 minutes. I don't know what well, honestly.
Yeah, if you don't think I'm insane at this point, I mean, good for you, but please get your own mental state checked.
There are surely therapists worldwide listening to this that are tearing their head up and their hair off.
Yeah, they're sitting there like, we need to meet this cock mushroom.
That's a cock mushroom.
I might as well explain.
Cock mushroom.
Explain that joke as well. It was on our Discord server, the Sigil Arts Discord server, and Cornelius called me something in Norwegian, and it translated to cock mushroom. I can't remember what I said. It was probably something really stupid.
I won't repeat it here at risk of some of my.
So you called me a cock mushroom in Norwegian?
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah,
apparently I did. Fucking cock mushroom, but in Norwegian.
Yeah, he called me. Cock mushroom, and then I said I was going to introduce myself as cock mushroom for the next episode of You Have Failed, but that turned out to be the final judgment, so I wasn't hosting that one. So I did say I'd introduce myself as cock mushroom this week. Which I have, and I'm sticking with it. I might just rebrand myself to cock mushroom now.
Well, it'll be part of the thumbnail this week too.
Fair.
I don't want to know. How
Imagine that at Twitter.
It just
I bet that one's taken as well.
I don't want to imagine that.
Mushroom cock. That's what it is.
It's weird because I hate mushrooms.
I do.
A lot.
Walking paradox.
Yes, yeah, walking paradox is true. Also, guys, while we're here, because we've still got minutes left of this episode, if one of you can explain why you all love Anne Boleyn so much, I'd really like to know. Because obviously I'm obsessed, and these two will vouch for me. I'm obsessed with Anne Boleyn. I recently bought another book on her just because I'm fascinated. She's my favourite person as history, as I made clear in the Anne Finally episode. But for some reason, the Anne Boleyn episode of Anne Finally and then the Millie O'Connell episode as Anne Boleyn in 6 episode of You Have Failed continuously get the most views. Listens, I saw your face, listens.
I was about to get distracted.
It's fine, listens. Why would you? I think you could view them. You can watch the bar move along.
Yeah.
And you can watch the sound stuff.
Semiotics.
Called
Downloads.
that.
Captivate says it's downloads. So what is your, if you guys have an obsession too, either one, why aren't I invited to this Anne Boleyn fan club? Because I want to be in it. Don't look at me like that, mate. What are you doing? Right? I want to be part of it. Or 2, should I just rebrand it to Anne Finally? You have Anne. You have Anne Boleyn with cock mushroom. I don't know. You have Boleyn with cock mushroom. To be fair,
I want no part of this. Get it off my network.
Oh dear. Anyway, I mean, to be fair, you did say we might look into having that first episode and finally changing it up a little bit.
There is the chance.
The banner, anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, you've got a lot of interactive stuff to do this week, guys. So you've got to go onto Twitter and name a film, and I will tell you how Frog Ninja makes it better. So obviously, just tag me, either me personally at Vader Saiyan or the show page at and finally at You Have Failed SV, and also put the hashtag Frog Ninja at the bottom because I want to see if we can get that shit trending somehow, right? So hashtag Frog Ninja, and just name a film and I'll tell you how Frog Ninja makes it better. But also on either the Twitter or the Discord, send me in your little clip of you doing Frog Ninja, and we'll get a shirt made if we hit at least 10, and I will make a compilation video that maybe we can put on your website, or I'll find somewhere I can put it.
It might find its way to the new streaming service. Oh, I suppose.
I'm just gonna end it there because then plugging and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we've gone through this episode, and I don't recall how long this has been now.
I don't want to think about it.
I think it's been an hour and a half, actually.
That checks out.
Well, so with that, what do you think of it now that you've listened to it again?
I like that one. When you said it was that one, as much as I didn't, like I said, I didn't remember too much of what was said or how we said it. I remember I had a lot of fun on that one, and it was one of the ones I enjoyed the most because it was just zany madness. So I was, optimistic going into it, and after listening to it again, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. In fact, actually, it was a good episode. A lot of fun, a lot of like mentally incriminating evidence. But it's a lot of fun, that one, and a lot of, it was good to relive, I think.
Absolutely was. I realized listening to it, I had very minimal to do with that episode beyond just sitting there, but it's okay because it was hella fun just sitting there and listening to you ramble.
Which I think is the premise for the entirety of You Have Failed, really.
Yeah, and also for this show, for Anne's sake.
Yes, for Anne's sake.
For Anne's sake with Cock Mushroom.
Yes.
You can find them on the @MushroomCock on Twitter.
I might just make a separate Twitter account just for that.
Let's just not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I do have a little bit of a deep question surrounding this episode.
Okay.
Okay, so we're in 2022 now. This was recorded in 2020.
Yes.
About a character that you made in 2019.
Yes.
Do you think that the SaiyanVader sitting here today, in similar circumstances, would have come up with Frog Ninja still? Or are you matured past that in some way?
Oh, that's really interesting because I'd like to think I've grown over 3 years now? It's been 3 years since I came up with him. I feel like, but as much as I think I have grown and obviously matured and everything, I like to think that I am still the mental but funny person I was back then. Despite having grown up, I think I've still kept, because there's maturing and then there's losing who you are. I think part of who I am is that sort of mental off the walls, but never like to a point where it's dangerous to my or someone else's health. It is just all fun and banter.
No, so the umpteen times that we've talked about you burying bodies, on one occasion of which was actually true. No, wait, that was me. Never mind. Yeah, carry on.
But yeah, like I'm all for maturing and all that sort of thing. But I think there's certain things where you don't need to get rid of it if it's not a detriment or a downside to you. And I like to think that my sort of zaniness isn't a detriment. It doesn't prevent me from doing anything in life. It just, I think, enriches it. I have more fun by being mental, basically, is the best way I can put it. Like, life's boring, so why not make it fun? So I do like, obviously, things the exact details of the story, I don't know if they'd be identical, but I do like to think if I was in a similar situation, a Frog Ninja-esque character would have appeared. Maybe, he wouldn't have been omnipotent. Maybe he wouldn't have had the same sand powers. I think aspects of the story can change based on the circumstances, who you're with, and obviously what you're talking about or thinking about at the time. But I do think that in similar circumstances, because obviously I think it's just a freak event, me coming up with this random character anyway. Obviously it's not something that's happened since or happened before. Obviously you always come up with characters, but not like that. So to say it'll happen again, I think is very unlikely, just because I think, that was the right circumstances lining up at the right time. But to say if, that moment in time were to happen again and I didn't have memory of, what happened and I had to relive it, but I kept my personality as I am now, I do still think something along those lines could have happened. I think the chances of it being Frog Ninja, as we know him, if that makes any sense, are slim. Does that make sense?
It does perfectly. And carry on.
So sorry. Yeah. So basically, the short answer is yes. I do think that today I am still capable of making a frog ninja, if that makes any sense. I just doubt the circumstances will ever line up that way again. And that's not because of me. I think that's just, I'll never be in that situation again where you're moving in for the first time, you're a bit nervous, and you're trying to just find your place in the house, because obviously you guys had been there for like a week or so at that point. And as much as I knew you both, obviously it was still new. So obviously I was nervous. It was my first time moving there into this house. And I think just all the circumstances aligned with the right game being played, the right jokes being made between us, and me being bad enough at the game that I just had to make a character to make it funny at how bad I was losing. But I don't think something like that will ever happen again. But if it was to, I do believe that I still have the creator of Frog Ninja within me.
As a sound answer, and I like it. Another one, probably the last one before we wrap this up for today.
No worries.
Have you at any point tried to explain Frog Ninja to anyone outside the circle of Sigil Arts? And if so, what was their reaction?
The only person I think I and I don't think I've gone into great detail is Danny. More so because obviously she's seen my shiny Greninja plushie, and I went, "Oh, that's Frog Ninja." She went, "What? It's a Greninja." I went, no.
Danny, for context, is SaiyanVader's significant other.
My pain in the ass.
Significant pain in the ass, then.
It's fine. I'm a pain in the ass for her as well. But probably more so. Like, I'll give her credit. But yeah, no. So I don't think I've got into the full detail of the full backstory. Not out of shame or anything. I just don't think I've ever got into it. I'd happily tell her in a heartbeat the zany antics that are Frog Ninja, and maybe one day when I'm brave enough to let her listen to You Have Failed, I'll just play the episode and she can understand it all there. But yeah, no, obviously she knows me well enough to know that I'm an insane person. So she sort of looked at me and went, "You're insane." That's literally what she said, and then just laughed it off and carried on with what she was doing. Like, she just accepts that I have this fictional character in my life called Frog Ninja, and yeah, she just accepts that because it's me. Which, fair. I mean, I take that. I think anyone who knows me knows that I'm capable of the most insane things. So yes. A Frog Ninja isn't beyond. Like, for example, my first date with Danny, we went to London. This is sort of a sidetrack, but it's not. It will link back to the start of the actual You Have Failed episode. You'll get this in a minute. That's and right. It was the Victoria Albert Museum. And in there was the art of 4 particular painters. So I did go around, rather than looking at all the museum stuff, go around trying to collect all of the Ninja Turtles in this museum for going, "Oh, look, it's Raphael." She hated me by the fact that she continued to date me after that. I don't know. But yes, I did go around trying to find. So, that was the first date. I was appreciating all the museum stuff, but I was also, rather than appreciating the art of these painters, going, "Oh, that's one of the Ninja Turtles." So I think she knew from the start what she was getting into. So I think a Frog Ninja is not too out of the question when I was looking at Ninja Turtles like that from the beginning.
Fair enough. Okay, very last one. We're coming up on it. Let's say it was 2019 it was created. So yes. In 2024, it'll be the 5-year anniversary of this mighty being of yours.
Yes, Frog Ninja was 4 last month.
Yes. Where do you see the character being at this milestone of 5 years of existing?
Well, I mean, I want to do more with Frog. I don't know how to or why, but obviously I love Frog Ninja. I always will love Frog Ninja. He will always be, I think, just a part of me now. And obviously I've now got Sneck and Slow Dick on the way, so I'll have the full set because I've got Spartan here as well. So yeah, I don't think the legacy would have died down. I don't know what will happen with him going forward. Whether I'll start writing fiction for it, I don't know. I could do, but I'm not sure how that'd work out. So I honestly, I don't know. All I know is that Frog Ninja won't die. Like, his legacy will remain. He will still be a big part of SaiyanVader. Frog Ninja will just always be there as a little mascot for me. So the 5 year, we can, I think, off air discuss maybe doing something special for his 5 year, for his 5th birthday.
Absolutely.
We could maybe discuss that because it would be nice to do something celebrating his the 5th year since his creation. But yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. He will still be a big part of everything I do, I think. What I do with him, honestly, I couldn't tell you, but he will still be here always.
Wonderful. Okay, well, that was all the questions I had at the end here. If you have anything else to add, then please do.
No, other than I'm just gonna, in UFL fashion, say the episode didn't fail, because that was I enjoyed that. I laughed more at that than I thought I would. So I'm gonna say a no fail on that one. I'm sure I won't feel that way about all my episodes. There'll be some that I completely cringe at. So yeah, that was a no fail. I really enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to doing the rest of the series at some point.
Yeah, you ready for next week?
Depending on what episode, yeah.
Yeah, call out. Let's do it. All right, cool. Well, thanks to everybody that has been listening. You can obviously follow him still on Vader Saiyan at Twitter.
Yeah, boy.
You can follow this show, which will post a lot about this, on You Have Failed SV. You can follow me on I Am King's Eyes, or any of the fucking 40 accounts to deal with sigil arts. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot coming on them in due time. But in the meantime and in between time, thank you very much for having listened, and good night.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, for fuck's sake!